Get started. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity gossip, Jeff Lewis, reality TV that we love, everything, being a mom, life. We had a rainy day here today, but thank goodness it stopped just in time for one of my kids to text me and beg me to bring Starbucks. And I'm like, no. I mean, first of all, it's against the rules to bring fast food, especially a Starbucks, to the school. So I was like, hail to the no. And then they said, well, maybe you could make me a coffee. Hello, daddy makes the coffee in the house. I don't even know how to do it. I know the what do you call that thing? The Keurig. I know how to put the individual packets in, but I'm not even a huge coffee drinker. Like I told my husband yesterday, I said, look, stop making coffee. Like there's 7 of us in the house because there's not. 3 are away at college and they were the one that drank coffee. I said, because it's giving me a headache. So I think I'm gonna stop drinking it. I don't know. Do you drink coffee to give you I don't need it for the energy. It just became he suggested it years ago, so I would go potty. It doesn't help me go potty. It's not the end all be all. I've got severe, we won't be gross, but I've got severe GI issues. The doctors are perplexed by me. They're like, unexplained chronic constipation. I'm like, thanks. Gross. But anyway, so it doesn't necessarily help me with that. It just became this thing, especially when I taught for 5 years. I loved having a warm cup of coffee in my hand. It kind of gave my right hand something to do with that morning, you know, when you're getting the kids off the bus and out of the cars and stuff. Oh, Cecily. So that's what I was worried about. Cecily says I get headaches when I give up coffee. So I don't really drink coffee or sweet tea or Dr. Pepper a ton. I drink a lot of water, but I have to admit, I drink less water now that I do this dang live, which I love doing with y'all, but I can't be peeing for this hour. So I stopped like an hour and a half ago, because if not, I am one of those that I will have to pee every 10 minutes. So anyways, I love that. I love you, Tiffany Chump. My husband makes me coffee every single day and has it next to my bed. And yes, I use it to go potty. I wish it worked on me. I love your husband. I've met him and he's such a cutie and so sweet. Oh my, wait, what? What? What happened? Is there bad news oh, y'all know I don't watch the news. Oh, it sounds like something awful happened. Oh, let's just take a moment and be so in prayer. 4 parents lost their kids today. Be glad they are still here. For parents. 4 or the FOR? I don't know what you mean. 9 in I don't even know what happened. Oh my gosh. Okay. In Georgia, my daughter goes to University of Georgia. She was just texting me. She said, love you. That's all she said was love you. And I said, love you more. How's your week going? She said, work and school and going to the gym are going great. I'm cooking pasta for my roommates tonight and they're going to make brownies. So yes, so y'all are saying something happened in Atlanta. That's off. Oh, a high school. Ooh, y'all, I didn't need to see that detail. Ooh, 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 ooh. Knowing that I just drove up from my daughter's high school to give her lunch. Ooh, that's awful. Okay, I didn't know how anything happened, but y'all are letting me know it was a school horrific thing in Georgia. Okay, sorry. I know it's life in the news and I have to realize that and accept horrible things happen, but sometimes I just want to put my head in the sand and not think that people do awful things like that, because that's just, and I mean, probably a lot of us are parents and we're humans, whether you're a parent or not. And it just really hits home whenever I have 2 high schoolers and all of us just care about everyone. Okay, get it together, Sarah. Yeah. Emily says, I can't watch the news. Yeah. So, like I said, my husband usually lets me know about things, and he promised you he knew about it. And he just was letting me know not to tell me about that because he knows it'll make me just sad. So, anyways, okay, sorry about that. We will keep everyone, school teachers, everyone, administrators, students, parents, grandparents, the community, their family, friends, all in our prayers. And I wish I had a Kleenex. I can't wipe my snot on Luna. Okay, sorry about that. We're live, and so when y'all tell me something, it happens. Okay. Oh, goodness. I know. Trust me. I was an elementary teacher for 5 years. We had the active drills too. It's awful. And one we had because the Santa Fe incident had happened at dismissal, and it was a real thing. And that was right down maybe 6-7 miles from the elementary school I worked at in Santa Fe, Texas. That happened my first year at that elementary school. My second year as a full-time teacher. Anyways, okay. Left turn, as Andy Cohen says. Left turn. Let's chat about Bama Rush. Danae Hayes on TikTok posted an update, sort of. We'll chat 90 Day Fiance a little bit of Dubai, and then a lot of Jeff Lewis, because I'm not into psychics and mediums, but he was fascinating. This Travis, oh shit, what's his last name? Anyways, whatever his last name is. Okay, let's chat real quick. This Bama Rush, though, I missed it. I guess this whole thing started a couple of years ago because my daughter that goes to University of Georgia, considered Alabama. She thought it'd be a fun school and everything. But I think she always knew she'd be in a sorority, and I think it intimidated her a little bit. She was like, not going to do that. So another daughter toured University of Alabama too. Again, we loved it. And I think the sorority, all this TikTok and Bama Rush and the TikTok of it all, I think it alarmed her. And also she didn't want to be that far away. So anyways, but I can't believe I haven't watched this documentary. Have you watched Bama Rush? It's from last year. I don't know where else you can find it, but it's on Max and HBO. So I went to go download or make sure I had the Max app still, because I've got to run an errand after this. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to sit with my AirPods on because I'm going to be there a couple of hours in a waiting room. And I thought, I'm going to watch or at least start this documentary. Well, I found out I don't have the Max app on anymore. So now I got to go look up that password or ask my family, the family chat. What's the password to Max? Does anyone else do that? And I stumbled across my DirecTV app that I haven't seen in a while. And then I realized they've got this new feature. I made a video on how to do it. If you are paying a shiz ton of money to every app, cable, satellite, streaming services times 10, all the things, get your money's worth. Because I just realized I can watch my recordings. I record everything because I never know when something's on. I'm like, I don't know what night $1 Million Listing LA is on, what night Real Housewives of OC is on, Dubai. I just record it and then pop it on and watch it. So, and that's one thing I don't love about apps is I forget where they were. And I'm like, I need a push notification to come up and say, here's the next episode. Here's the show. Even if I hit that check mark that says like my, stuff or whatever it's called, I need all of that. Yes. Can we return the receivers? Tiffany Chump says, I just learned that I'm going to return all my extra receivers. So I think years ago, like 10 years ago, they had the option to watch your recorded shows on a phone, which was kind of brand new, but you needed this other machine and it was like an extra $100. I'm like, forget that. Now it's free. So who has a $20 million sorority house? That's crazy. Although I have to admit, I love old school sorority rows. We have toured, I've got 5 kids, so we've toured a lot of kids. We've toured a lot of schools. Alabama has beautiful sorority. They're only girls. My 3 oldest are girls, so we've only toured, for the girls so far. I loved Georgia, Avi, go dogs, or whatever the thing is, go dogs. And Alabama is beautiful. Arkansas, I loved. Anyways, oh my gosh. Everyone knows that, Shaby? Am I late to the game on the direct TV? No idea. No idea. Anyways, so that is a feature now on there. And I learned it because I was going to look at Max to watch Bama Rush. So I definitely want to watch that. Let me know if you've watched it. Is it worth it? How long is it? Like, y'all know, I need like an hour, hour and a half max. Okay, speaking of short, TikTok, which I love. I'm obsessed with TikTok. By the way, make sure you're following me on TikTok because at Sarah from Texas podcast, I promise you, it is so easy for me to make videos there that is always going to be the first place that, oh, I meant to put earrings on. I was going to look all fancy for y'all. I got makeup, sort of flat iron, my nasty pony. If you look deep low, you see I missed some spots on the interior, whatever. You get what you get. You don't throw a fit, right? At least you ain't married to me. But my husband will be so excited that I have makeup on. I'm looking kind of cute. My eyes are really popping today. Thank you. I've got a little mascara on, not on the bottoms. That's too annoying. Mascara bugs me so much. Okay, but make sure you're following me on TikTok because I do always post there first. And then as I have time, I go and post the same video on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. YouTube is kind of annoying. And, I don't know. Anyways, okay, but I do try to post there. Danae Hayes and Mandy. So this is a lesbian married couple on TikTok. They have always shown their personal life. They joke with each other, all the things. They had both posted Friday, made a video about it, that they are splitting up. It was just a video, just a printed words. Okay, so go check that video if you haven't seen it yet. I'll explain it. Danae posted a video last night, like 2.5 minutes long, very somber. Some of y'all in comments are saying it looked fake. She is an upcoming. I don't know if you call it upcoming when they have like 3 million followers now on TikTok. And I hope to go see her. If anyone is in the Houston area or wants to fly into Houston, if you're a rich chump, and try to go with me to her show. Is it sold out? I think it's sold out, but I think I can try to get, a ticket off one of those apps or whatever. But September 27th, Danae's comedy show. I think she's a bit raunchy, but I would like to see it. So anyway, she posted this 2.5 minute long video. So I made another, video about that. A lot of y'all are speculating that Mandy was cheating. Mandy's going back to men. I mean, so much speculation. I personally never saw it coming, but I also didn't listen to their podcast. So I don't really know if there was any inkling there. You know what I mean? I feel like you can see their social media and then their podcast might be a little more like the guards are down, the walls are down, the guard is down. So you might have gotten, but I think the podcast has been deleted. So I can't listen to any of it now. Not that I would ever make time, but thank you, Lisa. She's over on TikTok so she could tap the screen. Thank you on TikTok for tapping the screen and giving me all the likes. I really, or hearts. Where are you in Texas, Lisa and Liz and Christy? Just south of Houston, called Pearland. Pearland, Texas. I love it. Love it. Love it. I love Texas so much. Okay, so there is a new show, not a new show. It's something called Dark Side of the 2000s. I watched it last year and chatted about it with y'all when they had the John and Kate +8. It was only about 45 minutes, but it was pretty good. A new one came on last night. So my Vice TV is on Direct TV, okay? So it's like channel 271 or something. They had a new one on, The Swan. Remember that TV show when they like mass plastic surgery people? Like lost weight, they got their boobs done, they got their eyes done, all hair, all sorts of things. And it changed these people's lives. Well, Dr. Terry Dubrow was one of the doctors on there for the first 2 seasons. And I haven't watched it yet, but let me know if you watch it because it does look pretty interesting. And I love me some Dr. Terry Dubrow for one thing. No way. Listen, Christy says they live in College Station. Go Ag. What's it? Texas A&M, whatever the Aggies thing is. We'll go with you to see Janae. Send me a message on Instagram, Sarah from Texas Podcast, if you can. If you send me the message on TikTok, I'll just assume it's a wave or some man saying, hi, I saw your profile and I would like to be your friend. I'm like, no, don't want to be your friend. I got 3 of those. I don't need any more. Ooh, the DMs are DMing y'all when it's women. I swear, these nasty ass, it's probably not even people in the, you know what I mean? Oh, Kathleen lives in Denton. Oh, I go. That's where one of my homes are. One of my second home is up in Denton. My third home is over in Athens, Georgia. And if you know what I mean, my children's. Thank you, Shay B. Says, I like that you talk about everything. I mean, sorry, but my brain is pew, 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 pew. That's just how I go. Annie says it's raining here in Florida. Isn't it always raining in Florida, though? I love me some Florida, Annie, and I would love to meet you in Florida. I would love that. Y'all, we need a get-together. I've got about, 2 others that regularly meet us for dinner or lunch in Houston. Shout out Kim, shout out Diane. A few others have met us a few times, but if anyone is in the Houston area specifically, make sure you join the Sarah from Texas Facebook groups because I put up events there and we need to do one soon because we haven't met up in a while. So anyways, okay, let's chat 90 Day Fiance the other way. So the other way is the one where the Americans are going and living in the other country. Okay. So the main thing, I'm fascinated. She's just cute. I mean, I don't think I'm a late in life lesbian, but I mean, a cute girl is a cute girl. And Statler, I say girl because I'm 51. She's like 30. Like I could be her mom and I wouldn't even be considered a teen mom. Well, maybe would I? Yes, I would be. I mean, I'm not that old. Okay, Statler and Dempsey. They are the ones. Statler's from Fort Worth, Texas, so I probably relate to her just because she's from Texas. She is going over to England or somewhere to like live in a van now. Statler goes live on TikTok often. Like I don't even follow her and she's always on my TikTok live. So sometimes I pop in, she reads comments a lot. So last night or yesterday afternoon, I commented on the TikTok live because I was watching, you know how you watch TV and you're on your phone if you're like me. So I was watching her and Dempsey on the other way, kind of bickering in their van, right? And Statler then goes TikTok live. And I'm like, I had heard a rumor probably from one of y'all. Y'all are the best at keeping me updated. So thank you for sending me the DMs and the videos all the time. That Statler was suing TLC or the production company or the producers of 90 Day Fiance for whatever. And so I commented and I said, is there any truth to the rumor that you're suing or that you have a lawsuit? She read it and she responded and she said, well, I've been advised not to discuss any legal happenings. And I'm like, oops, it's happening then. Like it's happening. So I don't know. Invite Statler over to hang out at your pool. She's about 5 hours away. You could get an exclusive. Do you think Statler would come on my podcast? If y'all ever have, especially if you're friends, if you're a big fan and you DM with them all the time, if you've got an in with anyone that I would love, which is probably most anybody, I have a lot of interest, hook me up. This one fan used to DM me all the time. I didn't know the person. I didn't have a relationship with this person. They were huge fans of Dana Wilkie. Remember the 25,000 sunglass lady from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She now lives in Florida with her son. She has a huge podcast, huge YouTube and Patreon. Okay. Huge. This person, I think it was a guy, would send me messages and be like, I love Dana Wilkie. I love you. I want y'all to do a podcast swap. I think he made it happen. One day, Dana reached out to me and was like, hey, I would love to chat Jeff Lewis with you. And I'm like, oh my God. So I I know I was on her podcast. I think she was on mine. Y'all forgive me. I have a terrible, terrible memory. Sometimes I think when I talk to people on the phone, they did my podcast or, they really didn't. All I've done so I forget. I'm sure we did each other's podcast though. Adore her. So I say that to say that all came about from that fan who had a really good connection with Dana Wilkie, probably put in a good word for me. You know what I mean? Oh, please. I could only dream. Lisa Loves Dogs on TikTok says, Jeff Lewis would be so lucky to have you on his radio show. A lot of people would listen. A lot of people would hate listen. I mean, did you see my video, y'all? Love you, but stop. I don't want to hear any more about the Reddit or the mean Facebook groups and what they say about me. Like, I know I used to say I wanted to know what they said because I just wanted to be aware. I just wanted to know, especially when someone's nice to me. Y'all know where I'm going with this. We reunited at Jeff Lewis's last show. Shout out Orphe from Chicago. But people that would be nice to me, and then y'all would send me a picture of a mean Facebook Jeff Lewis group or Reddit, and they would be blasting me. So I'm like, I would rather keep my friends close and my enemies closer. But now I don't even want to hear it. I just don't think it's good for my psyche. And I'm so over the insane things they say and that people believe. You know what I mean? Like, it's just ridiculous. I mean, last week saying my husband's a plastic surgeon. I mean, would I have all these freckles if my husband was a plastic surgeon? That I lie about my dog, that I lie about what gender my children are. I mean, the dumbest, but worse than that is the lies about Jeff Lewis or me being a stalker or things that I've said or done. That's even worse. You know what I mean? So I'm just done with hearing that. So I love it. Keep it in your heart. If you're one that loves getting on Reddit, God bless you, loves the mean Facebook groups just to hate watch. I love it, but I just don't want to know about it anymore. So please respect my wishes, as Bethany Frankel would say. So Statler is in debt. I don't know how much. I don't know that she's given a number, but she is in debt. And yet now she's mad at Dempsey for having this money from selling her car and not ponying up more money when they were buying this van together. So I think that's a big part of their breakup, is that Statler feels like, look, you let me go into debt even more than I already am because you didn't tell me you had this money and you didn't pony it up. And your name is the only one on that truck, that van. So she is spilling the tea on the TikTok lives. Make sure you're getting on it. She also alludes to the fact, which I think Statler is fantastic in her TikTok lives and great on reality TV, but she alludes to the fact that Dempsey is really the one that wanted to keep going on 90 Day Fiance, and she did it to make her happy. And then she says she would want to work on boats eventually, and she could probably she would maybe end up seeing her being on Below Deck on Bravo. So that was kind of interesting. I don't see Dempsey. Is Dempsey on Instagram or TikTok? What is Statler's TikTok name? I think it's Statler, but I don't know her last name. I'll find it, Lisa, and send it to you. Lisa in Kentucky sends me the funniest videos. She's the one that got me, basically, she harassed me. No, she didn't. She told me about Matt, what's his name? Matt what? Who am I going to see? I'm going to see some comedian in next year because I bought the tickets because of her, because he's funny. So anyways, but Dempsey's lost a lot of weight. I mean, you can see it. Even she's a beautiful girl, beautiful, mesmerizing blue eyes, blonde hair. But in her confessionals, you can tell she's lost a lot of weight. Matt Matthews, girl, everybody knows who he is. Okay, tell me in comments, do you know who Matt Matthews is? Now, Matt Rife is the one I really want to go to, but Matt Matthews is who I'm going to see next year. I need to go see Matt Rife too. Somebody go. Well, my husband, no, I think it's kind of a girl's thing. He's just such a cutie. My husband, we love going to see comedians, but I think I would be like giving googly eyes to Matt Rife so much that it'd be a little bit disrespectful to my husband. So I should probably go with a big group of girls, big group of heterosexual girls, so we can all just stare at him. Although I think everyone could appreciate a good looking Matt Rife. Oh my gosh. Okay, Dubai, season 2, episode 12. It's almost towards the end, but I didn't get to finish it because my beautiful child needed me, which they thanked me. I mean, they sent me the sweetest text and said how yummy the lunch was and nutritious. It was super cute. Wait, Susie lives in Houston? Okay, my Houston people need to be surrounding me. I feel like I have nobody in Houston, very few to chat about all this stuff. And we need to be getting together for coffee or dinner or seafood, something. So much. You need to make sure you're in the Facebook group, Susie. So when I make these events for Houston, we can do it. Okay. So I got interrupted, haven't finished it yet. I did hear that the finale is actually really good. So I do need to get on and watch it. But Caroline Stanbury, who grew up wealthy, she was in boarding school at a very young age. Her mom and dad are visiting at her house, and they look like normal, sweet people. I'm sure they're normal, sweet people, but they didn't really raise her. And she's got Caroline's got like issues from that. And in turn, I'm not so sure how close Caroline Stanbury was with her children and raised them, because her oldest daughter has kind of said, look, you're never around, Mom. And especially now that they divorced and she's with this younger man, Sergio, I just kind of wonder how hands-on she is. So it's kind of like one of those, like, this is how I raised, so I'm going to raise my kids this way, even though Caroline Stanbury makes it very clear that she's got like issues, but she's like, you know what? I'm not going to cause problems. My mom and dad have changed as they've gotten older. They've kind of gotten softer people. And I appreciate that. And that's how every rich person raised their kids back then. It was they sent them all to boarding school. I literally think she went at like 8. I don't mean like 14, like high school. We need to look it up. Who can look it up to see when Caroline Stanbury went to boarding school and let me know. Oh my gosh. Yes, Lisa said I forgot to watch Dubai. Joanne says, what'd you think of The Bachelorette? I don't watch it, but I did hear about the news last night, so I won't ruin it because it's so fresh. And I don't normally chat The Bachelor, so I don't want somebody to whatever. Yes, Lori says the farmer in a robe. That is who Matt Matthews is. He's always bitching about his chickens and stuff. Oh my gosh. Yes. I wonder, Dory, if Matt Rife has now gotten so big. I mean, all these people got huge during the pandemic. What the hell was I doing during the pandemic except rotting in my bed, like watching my TV by myself, screaming at my kids to do their homework on the computer, the remote learning. Oh, dear God. Oh, here's you then says, I look like a model today. I mean, a middle-aged model, but thank you. Matt Rife is best at a club with people to talk with him. Yeah, probably a smaller club, but now he's huge in these big venues and all these things. So Lisa, who I won't be surprised if she eventually divorced very soon. I think she's one of those that like 1 foot in reality TV, 1 foot out with a divorce. I'm just saying. She is expanding on episode 12 from her normal maternity wear and maternity stuff. Thank you, Crafty Dodger. 5 minutes of makeup really goes a long way on me. I'm just going to say, I mean, I can't affect the croak, but it really does. I need to do makeup more often. But Lisa is expanding, I should say, her skincare with her Mina Rowe, whatever. And instead of borrowing or using Caroline Brooks' spa, she rents out or borrows or whatever this other spa, puts her decals everywhere. You would think it was a Mina Rowe, whatever it's called, spa. I mean, it's literally everywhere. And so I noticed that. I'm like, why aren't they talking about this? Well, eventually Caroline Brooks is chatting about that with someone else, and they're like, ask her about it. So it's one of the reasons I wanted to keep watching the show, is because I want to see what Lisa's response is. So don't ruin it for me if you've watched it. So I feel like I'm the only one watching Dubai. Like, are any other podcasters, any other fan accounts chatting about Dubai? Like, one thing I don't like is they show I want to see the aerial shots. It's fascinating to me. These little islands that I think are man-made off the main whatever. Oh, Annette's watching Dubai. Shout out Annette. How are you? I haven't chatted with you in a while. They do these aerial shots of Dubai. The EU, is that what it's called? I don't know all that stuff. But I want them to stay on it a little long because I'm fascinated. I mean, maybe I just need to fly over it. Take me a flight like what's his name? Jessel's husband, instead of go to Vietnam, I need to take me a little flight to Dubai. Wonder what that would cost me. Oh my God. When it first came out, I looked up the prices and they weren't terrible. Maybe it was an off season, but I don't know. Detroit Beck says Miami is way better than Dubai. You know what though? And it's not Miami's fault, but well, it is. It's Bravo's fault. When they took Miami off for all those years, I watched it from day one and got invested in them. And a lot of the women are still the same. Although our girl, Leah Black is off. When they took it off Bravo, I just don't think, that's what I hate about apps. I don't think to go watch it on Peacock. So they screwed it over for me. You know what I mean? Oh, Kristen Stalvin says, watch what crappens. I love them. Ronnie and Ben podcast covers Dubai. Those boys watch everything. I love them. I would cuddle up in bed with them, just like a Josh Flagg and a Tracy Tudor moment in a heartbeat. Oh my God. Can you imagine? I would die. Oh my gosh. If they ever asked me on their podcast, see what I'm saying? Y'all get me on somebody's podcast. I love chatting. It's so fun. Yes. Damimsta 23 on TikTok says, what about Sarah in Dubai and her boyfriend in her fallout with her BFF? It's nuts. Yes. So they're all lovey-dovey now, Sarah and Saba, business partners and besties on Dubai, but post it's a nightmare. And the boyfriend they broke up with too, right? I don't think it was ever a boyfriend status. They were getting to know each other. Like, it wasn't that serious. I feel like Sarah's beautiful Sarah from Dubai is beautiful on the outside, but a hot mess on the inside. Anyways, I love that so many of you watch Dubai. Thank you, because I really feel like I'm the only one watching it. Ooh. Well, no. BK46 says, I feel like you're yeah, I haven't watched. I'm only halfway through episode 12. So I think you just joined. Yes, I missed it because my motherly duties distracted me from finishing episode 12 of Dubai. Okay. What's his last name? Hope? Is it HOLP? I feel like I wrote it down somewhere. Travis somebody. So remember a few weeks ago, somebody sent me a message and said, oh my gosh, Jeff's doing a psychic show because this Travis guy did a reading with a guy from on Radio Andy. It's a show on Fridays. It's like 3 or 4 guys. What's that show? Whatever that show is, the podcast. And one of the guys I talked about it a few weeks ago, had said he had just had a reading with Travis, whatever. And he had told him that he was doing a show with Jeff Lewis. Well, of course, I messaged Jeff Lewis and he was like, no, like, I don't even know how these things get started. And I'm like, I have no idea. So I normally don't ask Jeff about that kind of stuff, but the wow report. Thank you so much. But I had the clip and I'm like, no, this guy's literally saying it, but maybe he misunderstood what Travis was saying, because now we know clearly that Travis did come on Jeff Lewis Live today. So maybe he misunderstood. It was kind of weird. Yes, Sarah, thank you. I liked the OG Miami, unwatchable the last few years. Wait, Miss Leah's unwatchable? She hasn't even been on the last couple seasons. Leah hasn't been on at all on the reboot, right? The Peacock reboot. Are they back to being full-time on Bravo? Which I feel like that's confusing in of itself. You know what I mean? Don't then everyone like me loses interest. Everyone that doesn't have a freaking fan account that follows this, their midlife crisis hobby, um, they get confused. Okay, so he is a medium and a psychic, and he talks to dead people. So he got started on TikTok Live during the pandemic, had 3 people in his little TikTok Live. Y'all remember? I know like Pina, who else are really OGs? Like literally, like when we had like 10 people watching. I used to go live the first time I ever went Instagram live. I wasn't on all these platforms. I didn't even know how to do all that. I only knew Instagram live from watching Doug with Cooking Kibitz. And we had like 4 and 7 people on. And I'm pretty sure 2 or 3 of those people were just hate watching because they were huge Chef Lewis fans and hated me from day one, literally commenting, DMing me, talking about me like I'm not making it up. Anyway, so I say that to say Travis started off and he had very few people watching. All of a sudden, he did a tarot card reading and it went nuts. And he looked up and there was like 1,000 people in there. So that would never happen to me. But, 119 watching, 31 on Instagram, and 33 on TikTok. So, we're somewhat close. But clearly he's blown up from then. I don't know. Clearly Carney Wilson knows him because she's had a reading with him before. But he talks about this college in the UK, like he's taking classes on Zoom. So if anyone is into mediumship and psychics and all of that, I don't know if he even said the name of it, but yeah, somebody I think just said it was in the UK. I mean, anyways, I forgot where that was. But he did these Zoom classes during the pandemic and he still takes like other classes to kind of he says he's always learning. So even though he feels like he always had a connection to, psychic vibes and dead people, just like he said, he always felt like he was gay and just kind of pushed that down because of, whatever his reason was for that. But now he's like embraced it and he's a psychic. So, and clearly doing well because he charges 500 buckaroonies an hour. $500 an hour. Can you even imagine? Wow. And you know what? Chumps will pay it. I mean, y'all are some rich AF people. Thank you for liking the live, Lisa, over on TikTok. Can everyone just tap the screen? Tap, tap, tap. Look, see, then it says, Sarah liked the live. Thank you. Appreciate it. Demista23 on TikTok says the boyfriend of Sarah on Dubai was using her to be on the show. Don't doubt it. One bit. Don't doubt it. But I didn't realize, so totally off the subject, really, Jeff starts talking about how Friday's show was super controversial and he's getting like all these mean DMs from the bisexual community. Well, he's been bitching and moaning about Oscar the Voice that for a long time, many times. I've been chatting about it, like, why is he beating the dead horse? But if anyone's going to beat a dead horse, it's Jeff freaking Lewis, right? All of a sudden, something about Friday's show, which I thought was very inspiring, very positive. I mean, I loved how Reza Farhan was talking about, when his show, Shaws of Sunset, got canceled, he like pivoted and did a step back. He talked about his uncle having like 1-hour photoshops. Do y'all remember that? And when digital cameras came out, he had to pivot and do a new model. So I made a video because Jeff Lewis said something very that caught my attention. Well, everything catches my attention, Jeff Lewis. But he said how he's got a plan B and a plan C now in regards to his upcoming contract negotiations. He's like, I'm not going to let, Sirius XM, Radio Andy, whoever it is, just be like, oh, you're so lucky you have a show. He's like, no, I've got a plan B, a plan C, and I've got confidence and I've got mindfulness. I don't have fear. I don't have worry. I thought it was very sweet. I don't remember. He has certainly been second guessing or not even arguing. What do you call it? Making jabs at Oscar about thinking him and Shane both, and then Carney got in on it today, basically saying, "You're not bisexual, you're gay. Just come out and say you're gay." But you can't fake it. I mean, he's 27 years old. Like, I think if he says he's bisexual, like someone said, I don't remember if they DM me or commented, it's not hurting anyone if he is bisexual. It's also not hurting Jeff Lewis. Jeff is all about honesty. I think Jeff feels like Oscar's not being honest with himself with his sexuality, and I think that's what's bothering Jeff. You know what I mean? That's why he keeps bringing it up. But apparently the bisexual community has come after him, and he even wondered if I hate when Luna licks herself. She makes this noise like oh, it grosses me out. So Lulu, come here. Come here, baby girl. Yes. And then I go and kiss that mouth, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's so gross. It's so gross. It's so gross. I mean, oh, I love whenever I scratch underneath her neck and she just lifts up so I can scratch it even more. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, she stinks. Oh, you know that when your butt, those oils, your anal glands. Ugh. And I take her, I'll smell it, and it makes our whole bedroom stink, and we're grossed out. And then I'll make an appointment to go get them cleaned out, and there'll be nothing there. I'm like, yeah, she released it all in my freaking bedroom. So gross. Sorry. Okay. TravisHope.com. Live shows, readings. I think he's coming to LA, Washington, somewhere. I don't even remember. True. Debbie Kate says Jeff doesn't like anything he doesn't understand. If someone tells me they're bisexual, who am I to question them? I just feel like he's beating a dead horse, but that's kind of what Jeff does, right? You know what I mean? Lisa Crafty Todger says they're trying to give Oscar their experience. That's so true. Like, Jeff was a straight man, or Jeff acted, or Jeff was, how do you say that? I don't even know what that means. Jeff was with women until like his mid 20s, or at least through college, until he came out to himself in the world. And now he's with men. So I think Jeff knows that is his same with Shane. Shane was with women, had a girlfriend in high school. Jeff even talked about this more on the that podcast After Hours with Zach Noe Towers. It is such a good podcast. Like, find it. Like, DM Zach Noe Towers. I don't know why it's not. He should have that on an Instagram story every third day, because it's, first of all, it's a get. I mean, it was pretty much Jeff Lewis's probably first time on another podcast. Now he's been on Two Teas in a Pod and Do You from Dumois, but it was an amazing one for sure. Okay, so Jet says Jeff also smells disingenuous from a mile away. He has this sense of who Oscar really is, and he's frustrated because he can see it clearly, but Oscar cannot. But he doesn't hang out with Oscar. It's not like he knows him well. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so I don't know. I just, obviously Oscar must be okay with it, you know, because he hasn't gone to HR and said, you know, don't talk about this at all yet. What else? So which psychic told Jeff that his dog Toby isn't going to live a long life? Jeff said that's really like mind effing him. And I think it would me too. It's almost like the people that say, if you could know what date or what year you or a loved one might pass away, would you want to know? And some people say they would want to know so they could make the most of their life and get all their ducks in a row. And most of us probably say, hail to the no. Do we not want to know? So I don't even know who would tell Jeff like that. Who would tell someone their beloved dog is not going to live very long because it's the only dog he has right now. It's not like he has multiple dogs like he used to. They know. If you know anything about Jeff Lewis, besides he's controversial, opinionated, what have you, he's an animal lover, like crazy, crazy, crazy animal lover. Um, but also he brings up on the after show, Jeff Lewis Extended, this story about his dad, Tom, who was on the outs with his own sister. And then well, they weren't speaking, Jeff said, for months. The sister ends up passing away, I think alone at her house, her condo. And then the sister came to Tom in kind of a dream to let him, or a visual to let him know that everything was okay. So it kind of lets you know there's like a family history of not talking to each other, right? Jeff goes a long time without talking to friends and family, but also like his brother Greg. So, the fact that his dad had the same thing with his aunt kind of is like how he knows is how it is with family, right? I loved that Travis, he also joined on the extended show with Liat and Joey Zalzig, but he said something about instead of like when you're trying to speak to a loved one that's already gone, instead of saying like, I want you to come to me as a hummingbird, or I want you to be the butterfly every Wednesday, because he basically says, you don't have to have had that conversation before someone passes away. You can have it afterwards and they still are communicating with you, which I thought was actually really uh encouraging to a lot of people, you know what I mean, that believe in that stuff. But he said, instead say, it would be so fun. It would be so fun. I love that. It would be so fun if you were my puppy dog, or it'd be so fun if you were a dime on the ground. It would be so fun if, I saw a rainbow tonight and that was your way of saying, hi, everything's okay. I thought it was really, really sweet. Jet says, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I am smacking a lot and it's driving me nuts because it makes me think of Andy Cohen because he gets shit for doing it all the time. So I need to stop. Okay. Have I stopped saying anyways? I think I have. Jet says, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with Jeff, but I recognize that he's totally binary about everything. He can only process things in black or white. He needs that certainty to process the world. Kind of makes sense that people see the world in black and white instead of gray, for sure. For sure. Liat, his longtime friend, if you know, my head feels, see this? I feel like I walked into a door and don't remember it. And no, I was not drunk at all this holiday weekend. I had one, no, I didn't even have a sip of it. Someone had, well, they had a lot of alcohol, but someone had some seltzers or something like that. And I almost thought I would try one, but I didn't. I feel like I walked into I didn't even fall in the boat. I don't even know. It's bruisey. If you remember Liat, she is a very close friend of Jeff's, very into psychics, and she sees Scary Sherry also had a lot to say. Like, I feel like she could, if she wasn't hand over foot rich, I feel like she could probably, no, I don't know. I don't know if you can become a psychic just because she knows a lot about psychics and mediumship. So she had a lot of interaction with Travis and a lot of really good questions. So it was really good. This caller, Jessica. Okay, we're gonna open up to questions in just a second. Lots of good calls. Somebody DM me and they were on hold trying to get through, and I don't think they ever got through. Now, I still have about 15 minutes of the Jeff Lewis Extended show to listen to. I just got backed up with the unexpected mom duty because, I was just bed rotting, and then I had to take a shower and brush my teeth and get out of my Jamie Jams real quick. So anyways, but this caller was trying to get in, and I hope they got on because I want to hear what she said. But caller Jessica, what are your thoughts? I've got thoughts. Apparently, she and her mom and dad were all very close. They both passed away, but at different times. So when her mom passed away, the dad was still alive. She ended up taking care of. I feel like the dad came and lived with her. She was raising like a 3 or 4-year-old kid. So meaning she's busy. And says the dad told her, look, so when the mom was alive, the mom and dad told this caller, Jessica, sell our house when we both passed away and disperse it between all the siblings. evenly. Well, I don't know what all that means because then we learned that it's a blended family and the mom had other kids, the dad had other kids, and then they had kids together. So I don't really know which sibling she's talking about, but it sounded like caller Jessica just wanted to call in and be like, F you siblings. Daddy said for me to take all the money and I did, and I'm good with that because they were trying to be like, are you looking for your dad to come through you or your mom to come through you and say that you're okay that I kept all the money? Because some of the siblings, not all of them, are very upset with her. And if anything will upset anyone, it's money and emotions more so after someone passes away. And obviously, that is what happens in a lot of people's. And Jeff then says when she gets off the phone, yeah, my grandmother, we know that Jeff primarily took care of his grandma, but I think Greg lived with her for quite a while after the mom passed away because Greg was little, remember, still. Greg was like 12 when his mom passed away. 12? 16. Greg was 16. I feel like Todd was 12. Isn't Todd the baby? Like literally, I'm always forgetting. Jeff was 18. The middle kid was 16. The other one was 12, whatever that is. And those kids went and then the grandma took over once the mom passed away. But Jeff was very close, and it was seen on Flipping Out episodes all the time towards the end of her life. But she apparently told Jeff, look, you took care of me. I want you to have all the money. And Jeff was like, oh, no, 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 no. I'm not doing that. I don't need the money. We're going to disperse it evenly. At the time, he didn't have a kid, but Greg and Todd already had kids. So he dispensed the money, properly, which is, I can see Jeff doing. But that caller, Jessica, was like, no, I took the money. I don't know. I feel like she even said something about, I think they never told her, thank you for taking, did she say that? Or am I making that up? She felt like, I think she feels animosity, the fact that she was taking care of her dad and nobody else was reaching in to help, even the siblings that were from the dad from another wife. They are okay with her keeping the money, probably because they know they didn't do shit to help out. Now, I don't know if there was any expenses related to taking care of him, and maybe that's where she feels like it, or if she feels like, emotionally she needs to be paid for this, or maybe she's the poorest and so she needs it. I don't know. Jeff Bravo and Stones says Jeff Lewis should have used that discernment with Gage. Money? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean, money. Yes. Yvonne Gow says family dynamics and history make deaths in the family tricky. For sure. I mean, I view a death as a family reunion because it makes us finally take the time to get together. But I understand I don't have personal experience with like somebody wanting money or not getting money from a death, but it's very common for sure. I just had my thoughts because, I can't imagine, I only have one brother, but I can't imagine not doing things 50-50 with him in regards to my parents' leftover money. But I also have a great relationship with my brother and his wife. So I don't think about like who needs it more, or I've got 5 kids, they've got 2. I don't think about that because to me, it's both of our parents and we had a great relationship. So anyways, Jeff had a very interesting thought on when people pass away, if we make them out to be better than they really were when they were alive. Like, and then they talked about being honest at Jeff's funeral and like people were going to start coming at him and saying stuff. And I'm like, oh shit. I don't even want to think about Jeff Lewis's funeral, but I mean, can you even imagine all the people if they showed up and they were, like Jeff said, what if we were just honest about people and didn't say, oh, he was such a good guy. He was always so kind. And so he was the best neighbor. He did all of this stuff. You know what I mean? I would just die. Zoila. Oh, I love chatting about Zoila. That's one reason in the video I made, I said I want Flipping Out 2.0. Because I want Zoila, I want Lily, I want Maria, I want Aurora. Well, that's a hard name. Oh, Alyssa, the new, the part-time hot nanny. Hot Nanny Lisa. I mean, Sam. What's the one that's the part-time, the female that used to work with him all the time on Flipping Out that's come back and works once a week with him? The one that moved to the OC, the former, I know y'all are gonna think of it. What is her name? I can literally picture her. She's got her shit together. I just want another show. I want Jeff on TV. Even if he comes on TV, it's going to be forever from now because they got to film it. They got to put production in. They got to do all the stuff. You know what I mean? We need all of that. My Maria says she came on one episode, but it was short. And if you have not watched Interior Therapy, it's only 2 episodes. Find that show. It is such a good show. It is almost all Jeff, Jenny Poulos, and Zoila, and it is so funny. It's so good. Yvonne Gal says, just had a family funeral and so many family members showed up. The stories and laughter is jarring for a minute. Oh, I love that. Nancy, thank you, Mama Judy. Thank you, Mama Judy. Nancy is her name. Why do I have a bruisey feeling? I thought it was a headache last night. Y'all, is that a medical condition? I literally teased my husband that I had brain cancer because I never get headaches. You can almost see it right there, but it's like this faint throbbing. But it feels bruisy. I noticed it because I was putting on when I washed my face yesterday, it didn't feel bruisy because I use a washcloth but this feels bruisy when I put my moisturizer on and my makeup on. And now I almost feel like I see something. I hate worrying about medical stuff. Oh my God. Did we talk about it already? No. Did we talk about, why didn't I write that down? Did we talk about Jeff going live on their Instagram yesterday? No, I hope you watched it. If not, it is still up. It's on Sutton Strack's Instagram. She put it up. Now, Sutton Strack should have gone live or had Cynthia's account up with her because she's got 4 million followers. When I was watching it, I thought they were going live at 1:00 Eastern. It was 11 a.m. Pacific time, so 1 p.m. Texas time. I just had it in my brain wrong. So thank goodness a lot of you chumpettes shared the live with me. And I happened to see it as I was getting ready for me to go live. So I did pop on for about 10 minutes. Jeff was so funny in the bedroom. At the very end, Shane gets on the bed and lays on the bed. But there was only 130, 140 people on. Considering you want a lot of people on for views and to buy the products. Because there was a button apparently that said purchase or watch, or it was some weird word, but they put the thing down at the bottom and all the comments were covering the button that said what did it say? It said to buy or something. It was kind of weird. Yeah. So Jeff was in bed about it. It was so funny. Here's you then says you already talked about this. Why don't you remember saying anything? I'm worried for you, Sarah. Was that yesterday though? Or it would have been 2 days ago because it was, yeah. Okay, sorry. Yes, I remember talking about the live was before my live yesterday, so that's whenever I talked about it. Yes. You should be worried about me because often I think, did I have that conversation on the phone with someone or in a text or on my Instagram? I don't even remember. Yes, it was so good. But she should have had Cynthia on there. Anyways, I think something's going on too. We'll chat about this real quick and because y'all didn't seem to have any other questions and then we'll get off. Mama Judy says, I've heard Tamara and Eddie might not be living together. Thoughts? I think that even more than ever based on what we're seeing on OC right now, but also the fact that she just had this major face plastic surgery that she's chatting it up with and doing Ask Me Anythings and no sign of Eddie. The only thing I've seen is she did an Ask Me Anything and said something to the effect, and what does Eddie think of you getting plastic surgery? And she said, oh, he doesn't even think I need it. He thinks I'm great with no makeup on and natural, but I smell issues. Her Instagram live, Tamara Judge, is probably the answers are probably still up there. So go check it out because she does. A lot of people apparently asked her about the comments that we chatted about yesterday about Vicky Gunvalson saying it. And she pretty much said, I don't know why she's coming at me. It's awful. It's my family. It's horrific. As if Tamara's never gone out to anyone. Anyways, oh, he went to get her prescription. Okay, Belly's op says. So, anyways. Well, thank you so much for joining live. If you have a friend that loves celebrity news, reality TV, Jeff Lewis, hit the share button at the very bottom of this. On TikTok, it says share. On Instagram, it's a little arrow. And on YouTube, it says share. So I would really appreciate it. Make sure you follow me everywhere at Sarah from Texas Podcast and hit the thumbs up, hit the heart button, do all the kind things. Have a fabulous day, and I will see you tomorrow, same place, same time. Bye, y'all. Bye, TikTok. Bye, Instagram, and bye.